For this unit, we are going to learn about color. The names given to color are actually called hues. For example, the colors red, yellow, and violet are all considered hues. So the hue of red, the hue of yellow, and the hue of violet. When we look at the lightness or darkness of a color, we're really talking about value. On the left-hand side, you can see values from light to dark. But when we talk about values in color, we use two different terms called tints and shades. A tint is made by adding white. When we add white to a color, it creates a lighter hue. So we take a hue of any color, we add white, and it becomes a tinted color. Let's take the hue of red, add white, we get tinted pink. Shade is the opposite of tint. It is made by adding black to a color. This will make it darker. We can do the same, taking the hue of red, adding black, and getting our shade with a reddish black. Neutrals. Neutrals are not really colors. White is considered no color. Black is considered all the colors because it takes all the colors to create it. Gray is a mixture of white and black, and beige. When beige is made and mixed within any hue on the color wheel, it creates a more natural, muddier hue. When we talk about the opposite, we could also talk about it as light. Looking at these two diagrams, light, white light, for example, comprises of all the hues in the visible light spectrum. When they're all added and combined, it creates white. So we can say that white is all the colors, and the opposite is black is none. The truth is, most people consider black as a pigment. It's because you can create it on paper with all different pigments added to it. But in a technical sense, black and white are really not colors. They are what we consider shades. When we look at the color wheel, it has lots of hues. They all have specific names. Yellow, yellow-green, green, and so on. Let's start with talking about our primary hues. Primary colors are colors of red, yellow, and blue. They are our pure and basic colors. The reason is they can't be made from any other color. When you purchase them in the store, you have to buy the pure red, yellow, and blue, and this will help you create all other colors in the color wheel. Secondary colors are orange, green, and purple. This is when we mix equal amounts of two primary colors that are beside each other. When we combine equal amounts of red and yellow, we get orange. When we combine yellow and blue in equal amounts, we would get green. And when we combine blue and red hue of equal amounts, we get the color purple. These are secondary colors. Next is tertiary hues, also known as intermediate colors. These are made by mixing equal amounts of adjoining primary and secondary colors to get a new color altogether. As you can see on our color wheel, we have red, yellow, and blue. We know that combining red and yellow, secondary color, gives us violet. But let's talk about violet here. When I create a mixture of red with violet and I add more red to it, I will get a color called red violet. But if I take a color that from this purple and I add blue to it, I will get a blue violet. Here are the names of all the tertiary colors. Yellow-green, blue-green, blue-violet, red-violet, red-orange, yellow-orange. Notice how all intermediate colors are defined first with the primary color name, and then the secondary color name after. We can divide the color wheel into two parts, warm colors and cool colors. Warm colors appear hot like the sun or like fire. They give feelings of joyfulness, activity, excitement, or even cheerfulness. They often appear to advance and come forward in objects or in paintings. Objects up close are warmer in hue than objects that are farther away. It can give a sense of nervous impression if it's overdone. Cool colors remind us of water or skies. They give feelings of peace, calm, quietness, or restfulness. They often appear to recede. Objects farther away appear to be cooler than those closer to us. If you've ever seen a painting where there's mountains in the background, we know those mountains might have gray rock or green trees on them, but from far away, often those mountains look to be purple or bluish. Sometimes, if a painting or an art piece has a lot of cool colors in it, it can give the feeling of depression if it's overdone. Monochromatic color schemes are when we take one hue and use tints and shades within that hue to create a painting. This can often give us an emotional or feeling-based piece. In this painting, you can see one color plan uses the tints and shades to intensify that color. In this painting, it feels a little sad, maybe a little lonely, maybe a bit colder. Analogous color schemes are colors that sit next to one another on the color wheel. These colors are in harmony with one another. Paintings that combine 3 or 4 colors right beside each other feel really comfortable and calming to look at. You can do this with any part of the color wheel, combining 3 or 4 colors to create this sense of harmony. So in here, if we were to take yellow, yellow, green, and green and make a piece about it, we would have a harmonious piece of art. You can do it with any set of 3 colors that are side by side. Here are 3 different combinations of colors that could make a nice art piece. Finally, I'd like to talk to you about complementary colors. In the color scheme, this is when it uses opposite hues on the color wheel. These colors are across from each other on the wheel and have great contrast. If you were to take analogous colors from the wheel that are side by side and intermix them with a complementary color, it would give a pop of interest. In this case, you can see what complementary colors are opposite the color wheel. When we think of red, the opposite of red is green. Blue, the opposite of it is orange. Yellow, the opposite of it is purple. We can go around the whole wheel, and anything that's opposite would create great contrast in any painting. Be careful though, when we combine complementary colors from the opposite on the color wheel, you will get a muddier, browner color. Now let's make our own color wheels.